What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC Comics related videos. And in this video, happy Good Friday, I should say, and it is a good one because we just got the July 2022 solicitations, just kind of came out earlier on today, like about like 12. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about them because now I'm getting around to talking about them. So let's go ahead and discuss them really quickly because this is July. This is the big summer thing. First, starting off, we have Batman number 125. This is by Chip Zdarsky. Basically, Zdarsky, I think this is like the second issue that he's taking over, or he's taking over in this issue. I can't quite remember. But Chip Zdarsky is quite good at what he does. I think he still has the best story in all of Batman Urban Legends, and I think him taking over as the main Batman writer is a good thing. We also have somebody else taking over for Detective Comics, who is another good choice too. So it seems like they're going to be shifting towards, like some different creatives to kind of take over the main Batman books, which are good choices, I might add. So, but basically, like this is just him talking about Dark Future, Gotham, all the other fun stuff. We can see the cool different like variant covers and all that right here. Get a lot of really good looking covers in this particular issue. Right there, we got Selena Kyle, Batman and Robin. I think Tim Drake is going to be the main Robin in this current series right now because Damian's going off to Japan, as we're going to find out. Detective Comics, number 1062. This is where Ram V is going to be taking over, and I think having Ram V on Detective Comics is a plus. I feel like Tamaki started out pretty decently, but then as the series kind of went on with that whole 12-week issue event, that just ultimately was pretty bad by the end of it. Like, what a massive like letdown. I mean, 12 straight weeks reading this thing, and then that's how you end it. Very anticlimactic and a huge letdown in terms of like a final like particular story. Looks like the backup art's by Danny, too good for last names, I see. But yeah, like I said, Gotham Nocturne, part 1 of 4. It's a new era for the detective, and I was the introduced award-winning new series writer Ram V, who did a good job on Catwoman. So I think Ram V taking over Detective Comics is a good choice. Or fail this, yada yada. Something is terribly wrong with Batman. No matter the tests Bruce takes, nor the numbers he counts, the greatest detective in the world can't pin down the source of his creeping dread of his own inner demons and looming mortality. As the eerie tune streams in, who is the human, who's the demon, who's all to tell? Batman investigates the songs and the demons of Gotham, is forced to confront the oldest question: whether there has been a demon within him all along, and if so, what does it want? So I got Batman there. It's not really showing me any more new images right there. Anything else? Oh, there's a cool cover right there. If it'll let me look at it. I guess not. So yeah, like I said, a couple images there. Ramby taking over Detective Comics. Good stuff there. Then we have Flashpoint Beyond, number 3, written by Jeff Johns, Jeremy Adams, and Tim Sheridan. I haven't read the first issue of Flashpoint Beyond. I think it just came out, didn't it? I don't know. So it's like a 6-issue miniseries. More Thomas Wayne investigating this stuff. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like we've kind of tapped out the Flashpoint universe in terms of like this character, but I guess they're off doing more stuff. Dark Crisis number 2. Here's one of the big ones of the month. Dark Crisis is the big event this year. I don't know what they're going to do after Dark Crisis, and it says issue 2 of 7. So it's going on for like the whole year, but we'll see what they end up doing because they did meddle in that the past few years, and now we're on to Dark Crisis. Ooh, the next big crisis where the Justice League is dead, but they're still kind of alive in other ongoing titles. As the good people of the world mourn the loss of the Justice League, the forces of evil have to seize the opportunity to wreak havoc in a world without its heroes. Leading the charge is the superpowered Slade Wilson. Oh, Slade's getting powers. But this time, there's something dark fueling his rage with the massive army laying siege to Titan's Tower. Only Nightwing will have what it takes to stand in the way of Deathstroke's forces. But is this a fight Dick Grayson can win? Look up in the sky. Reinforcements are on the way. It's a bird. It's a plane. Uh-oh, it's Cyborg Superman. The world burns as pariah in the great darkness make their play for planet Earth in this jaw-dropping second issue. Thank goodness we're getting Slade versus Dick Grayson. I feel like Slade is just tormented. In terms of the Robins, he's kind of annoyed Damian for the longest time at this point. I'm like, but he was originally like one of Dick Grayson's kind of main villains, and the fact that they haven't really like had any type of interaction has been kind of disappointing me. I'm like, just get Slade away from everyone else. Have him go toe-to-toe with Dick Grayson again. That's like the strongest conflict he has. So, yes. Then we have Yara Flor and Jace Fox. Looks like none of this stuff wants to load. There's some cool stuff there with Slade. And there's Cyborg Superman going toe-to-toe with aged-up John Kent. There we go. Like, see, this is the stuff I want to see. I want to see Nightwing versus Deathstroke. I'm tired of Nightwing, or I'm tired of Slade going off after like other members of the Bat family. Just have him go against Dick Grayson for a little bit. I think we could use that. Dark Crisis, World Without a Justice League, Superman #1. This one's written by Tom King, so that's probably just not going to be ideal. When Pariah and his forces in the Great Darkness laid waste to those powerful superheroes of all time, all hope was lost, with the Man of Steel suffering the same fate that of his comrades. Join us for a look at the world of dreams he would never thought possible alive. Where there's a life's hope, there's hope, blah, 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 blah. Tom King doing this thing. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Looks like, I guess it's supposed to be John. I don't know. It's Tom King writing it. And he's doing something a little bit different with it. I don't know. With Tom King, you never know. It could be decent or it could be quite bad. I just kind of don't really have much faith in what Tom King's doing. So that's just my personal opinion. Dark Crisis, Young Justice #2 on sale, $7.19. Impulse, Roy, and Tim Drake were just saved by Cassie Sandsmark, Wonder Girl, in the strange fantasy world they're trapped in. She's here to navigate this. Yada yada. Which Cassie is lying and who's about to get burned. So there we go. We got Cassie there going there kicking ass. That's always good. The Flash #784 by Jeremy Adams. The search for Balian, Wally, and Wallace have arrived on the planet Prime. Dark Crisis tie-in. Okay, so it's Dark Crisis tie-in. So there's gonna be a lot of tie-ins to Dark Crisis. I'm gonna have to try and do my best to keep up with it. Black Adam, the Justice Society Files, Hawkman #1. Okay, so this could be like a prelude to the Black Adam movie that's supposed to be coming out later on this year. I know the Flash book was supposed to have one as well, but I think that got delayed or canceled because of the movie getting delayed till next year because there's stuff going on behind the scenes of that. So, like I said, this is just kind of a prelude to it. And you can see there's the People's Champion, The Rock, the Great One, the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, all that other fun stuff. Okay. Artemis Wanted #1. Okay, I will probably pick this thing up because I think Artemis is really, really cool. I liked her in Red Hood and the Outlaws. I like that dynamic she had with Jason. Why they thought it was... They literally dropped the ball so badly on that. Because those two had a very interesting dynamic, and like adding Bizarro into the mix, it was something new, fresh, and it just played off each other really well. Why she isn't like in like Jason Todd's current book is beyond me. I don't know what it is. It's like... It works so well, but for whatever reason, I guess we'll just throw it out. I don't know. After the events of Trial of the Amazons, Artemis is on the run from her sisters for her sins. She may say it was all in the name of peace, but not even Wonder Woman believes a word she says. Now the former member of the Venom McDowell is wanted and not blaming her people or Amazon tribes. There are a future warrior for his destroyer past. Find out Artemis travels the world searching for answers and a new path forward. She'll need the help as she can, and it may come in the unlikeliest of sources, the gods. Okay. I'll probably pick that thing up because, like I said, I think Artemis is really cool. And, yeah, here's something interesting. DC Mech #1. Okay, so now we're going mechs. So this is going like Evangelion, Mobile Suit Gundam, all that other fun stuff. At the end of World War II, where Earth was invaded by giant mechanized parademons from a planet called Apocalypse, Earth's protectors, the Justice Society of America, were devastated within the age of superheroes come to an end. Or Pacific Rim 2. Ensuring there's this, and basically mechanized DCU. So... this is just going to be like an Elseworld storyline. But you know what? Elseworld stuff can be kind of cool. And look at this. This is just appeasing. Like, they're really trying to tap into some of that, like, anime manga market with a lot of their titles, I've noticed. But, hey, you know what? Give me giant mechs. I love giant robots fighting. Young Justice Targets #1, written by Greg Weisman. So this is going to be like a 6-issue series. Because Young Justice, what is it, Season 4 is going on right now. They haven't quite renewed Season 5 yet. But I really think they do need to do comic book tie-ins because so much of Young Justice is just kind of like glossed over. There's all sorts of time jumps, so we're never really like, when new characters are introduced, like you're never really given the time with them. And like I said, this season's a little bit better than Season 3, but for whatever reason, like they've had so many years in between seasons. It's like they lost their groove, I feel like, because there's a big dip in quality from like Young Justice Seasons 1 and 2 to like Seasons 3 and 4. I don't know what it is, but like I really hope it starts to pick up a bit. Like I said, this season's a little bit better than Season 3 that's going on right now, but even then I'm just kind of losing interest in like the plot, and like certain characters are just kind of like taking a backseat like the whole season. Like Dick Grayson, who was like supposedly like one of the leads, has not really been involved in like much of the season at all. So that's kind of a bummer to me. But you know, at least it's given other characters a chance to shine. But yeah, like I said, this is just set after Phantoms, so... Superman Space Age, written by Mark Russell. So we got that thing right here. Looks kind of like the Christopher Reeve kind of suit going on there. Batman White Knight presents Red Hood #1. Never really read the White Knight series. I've heard kind of mixed things about it. Some people like them, some people don't. It's going to be a 2-issue thing. And basically, like I said, it's going to tap into Jason Todd, right here. I'm not sure who this is, but, you know, it could be interesting. I haven't read any of White Knights, so I'm not sure if it's going to be good or not. Curse of the White Knight. Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 5. I haven't actually read any of the current World's Finest books. But, yeah, like I said, there's more of that stuff there. So, that's always cool. DC versus Vampires, All Out War, number 1. Now, I've said countless times that I think DC versus Vampires is probably my second favorite ongoing book at DC right now. It's been really fun and really exciting every issue I've read. I mean, in fact, the most recent issue had the big reveal that Dick Grayson was the Vampire King, which kind of came out of nowhere, and it's actually more exciting to see him kind of as, like, the main villain in, like, an Elseworld storyline, because, like I said, it's always kind of like this, usually the same characters. Having it be Dick Grayson kind of changes things up a little bit. I know some fans will be upset, but you know what? This is just an Elseworld thing. Other characters are going to have to deal with it. But like I said, having Dick as one of the villains and killing off Batman, that makes it more exciting because you don't know exactly what direction it's going to go in. So, like I said, I quite like DC versus Vampires. What we see here, one last secret on discovering humans is facing. So there's going to be 6 issues of this on top of the other. Like, I don't know how many issues DC's versus Vampires is going to go, but you know what? Just keep it going. It's been fun. So, yeah, this is a companion series, feature a brutal story with all this stuff going on. Like I said, Slade, you got Azrael, you have Booster Gold, you have Bane, you have Deadman, you have Mary Marvel on there. All good stuff, all good stuff. Multiversity, Teen Justice number 2, issue 2 of 6. So like I said, this is the Teen Justice from Another World. You have Laurel Kent, I believe, and you have Talia Kane. Looks like a male gender, like a gender-bent version of Raven. Basically just gender-bent versions of the characters off in the multiverse doing their thing. Okay, now here's something I don't get why anyone would print this right there. Batman vs. Robin, Road to War. Nobody wants to relive this thing. Like, this is just like, let's collect some of the worst Teen Titans comics, 43 through 44 in the annual number 2, which nobody likes if you're a Damian fan. Like, Damian fans don't like it. People who aren't really Damian fans don't like it. Like, this is some of the worst Teen Titans comics, like, in that entire run. So it's something that most people don't want to relive. Now, Detective Comics by Tomasi and that is good, but still, like, it didn't have the fully satisfying thing. And then, like I said, the setup to backup that's going on in, you know, the Demon vs. Detective thing, Batman 106, 134, 1034, that's stuff I've already covered on the channel right there. In fact, I've covered all the issues of this thing, so there's no reason to kind of pick this thing up. So I just don't get why anyone would want to pick that up. But you know what, if you're a collector, maybe you will, but like it's an era of Damian stuff I don't necessarily want to relive, at least those first couple issues of Teen Titans, because it was such a damaging run to that character. So, and like I said, I talked about those. Constantine, Destroyed Illusions, Kami Garcia. Okay, so that's another one of those weird Elseworld storyline things. YA books. Deadman tells the spooky tales. Ooh, interesting. So Deadman telling a bunch of different tales, so it could be interesting right there. Batman 1, Dark Knight. Looks like just a collection right there. I Am Batman Volume 1. There you go. Robin and Batman. Let's just see. Okay, so these are just a couple trade paperbacks. Let's keep scrolling through. Let's see if we can get to the rest of the issues. Here we go. Action Comics number 1045. Now we're at this point now. So like I said, Philip Kennedy Johnson, World Revolutions. I haven't read any of the World stuff, but most people have been saying it's quite good. So I'll just take their words for it. Aquaman and the Flash, Void Song number 2. Not sure what this is. But we got Aquaman and the Flash working together. Aquaman Andromeda number 2, written by Ram V. Like I said, I liked a lot of what Ram V was doing. So looks like it's got stuff going on here. Aquaman number 6. I believe this is the final issue of Aquaman. So you got that going on there. Batgirls number 8. I've been reviewing Batgirls on the channel. The Batgirls break into an iceberg lounge in order to rescue Seer, who is held hostage by the Saints. Nightwing and Oracle get dressed up and go undercover to help the Batgirls, while also making the mission on date night. But why would they help Seer, the very person who's been hacking into their network and harassing them? Read here to find out. Okay, so Nightwing's going to be in this issue. That's always a plus. You get your Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon stuff, if you're a fan of that ship. Batman Beyond, Neo Year number 4. I didn't read the first issue of this, but like I said, they killed off Bruce Wayne in like the tie-in thing. I think it was a backup in Urban Legends or something like that. And so it's just kind of Terry on his own, which is a bit different, but like it kind of like Batman. Part of Batman Beyond's fun was always that Bruce and Terry dynamic. So unless they had something else to kind of fill it, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. So it could be good or bad. So Batman Fortress number 3, just yet another Batman book, because Batman can't not have every book. Batman Killing Time number 5. Tom King writing Batman. No, thank you very much. Batman the Night, Batman, 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 Batman. You like Batman? That's literally every book. I mean, Batman, 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 Batman. Like I said, Chip Zdarsky, pretty solid writer, so he's got a couple more issues left on this. Looks like somebody's grabbing Bruce's titties. And the cover right here. Oh, Zatanna. Okay, cool. Batman Urban Legends number 17. I'm surprised this book is still going on at this point. I feel like Urban Legends, like, you could probably, like, cut that book out entirely, because there's, like, it's just kind of, like, lost its luster as time has gone on. Like, there's some engaging stories, but it's not what it was in the first couple issues, so there you go. Black Adam number 2 by Christopher Priest. Okay, so here's a different version with the Simone DeMeo artwork right here. Or actually, yeah, that's just the cover. But yeah, like, Christopher Priest can be a pretty good writer. In some ways, I like what he's done, and some things I don't. So, could be interesting. But I think he's a good fit for Black Adam. I think he could tell a pretty compelling story. Blood Syndicate season 1 number 3. So you got that there. I'm not too familiar with that. Catwoman number 45, written by Tini Howard. Roman Sionis has been brought to his knees, but enough is enough. Catwoman's vacation is over. It's time to get back to work, but Selina has never been Gotham's only protector, and she'll have to contend with the well-lasting family of bats. What's the old saying? The enemy of my enemy should back off and let me handle it. Okay, what the hell did they do to Tim Drake's face right here? Okay, this is fine, but something of his face just seems kind of off. But yeah, it looks like we're going to have those characters teaming up. Artwork for Catwoman is pretty nice for the most part. Like I said, this is fine. But then just tell you what, Tim's face right there, I don't know, it just seemed kind of off to me. DC versus Vampires number 7. So we got Supergirl right there. You got a bunch of vampires in the background. We have Oliver Queen. The Nightmarish second arc begins. Okay, so we're at the second arc now. So we're taking a little bit of time off. Focus on some of the other one-shot stuff. Like I said, really loving what DC versus Vampires has been. I believe there's some more issues coming out this month that I'm quite excited to read. The Nightmarish second arc begins. The Earth is now cloaked in darkness. Victorious vampire empire has taken full control. Pockets of humanity can still be found. Green Arrow, Backroads, Supergirl hatch a desperate plan to save the world or die trying. So look at that. All these different vampires. DC vs. Vampires, just a lot of fun. Deathstroke Incorporated, number 11 by Ed Brisson. Deathstroke Year 1 continues to escape the Millennium family life. Slade Wilson, the failed soldier and test subject, undertakes his first assassination mission. His target is the last surviving doctor from the experiment that gave him his powers. Slade doesn't need his heightened senses to tell him something is wrong with all this, but will his intuition stay his hand? Blah, 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 blah. So we got Slade there. And we got the Wilson family. That's clearly Grant right there. Is Jericho just not here? Or, wait a minute, is that Slade? What's going on here? There's like 2 Slades going on right here. Unless that's, I guess this is supposed to be Respawn, and that's Rose, and then that's Talia, that's Grant. That's Jericho. I don't know what's going on with this image here. It's like there's a couple different Slades. Duo, number 3. Got that right there. Fables, number 153. Boy, they've done a lot of Fable stuff. I haven't read any of it, though. Future State Gotham, number 15. Batman at War, part 3. There's new Batman in Gotham City, and his name is Dick Grayson, ? The only problem is that Jace Fox and Bruce Wayne still claim the name, and neither is willing to give it up. Now it's all at war, with Jason Todd and Hunter Panic caught in the middle. Plus, Damian Wayne is back, and that's bad news for everyone. I guess he's the villain, then? Is this Damian in the 666 Batman gear? What is going on in Future State stuff? No, you know what? Actually, I don't care, because it's Future State. But yeah, so... Let's see. Harley Quinn number 17 by Stephanie Phillips. It's one we've been building towards for months. The rumble in the jungle, but actually in Gotham because we're not in the jungle. It's showdown between me, your hyper... blah, blah, blah. So, more Harley Quinn stuff going on right here. Is this her and the Joker? Interesting. I Am Batman number 11 by John Ridley. Following the stunning conclusion of the previous issue, Jace Fox and his task force are upended, taking Man Ray into custody. Could be a deadly prospect of this. What secrets does it hold? There's that stuff going on right there. Jace Fox. And he's in New York. Like I said, I'm glad he's kind of off doing his own thing. Justice League vs. Legion of Superheroes number 5. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer, so that tells me immediately that I shouldn't really have any interest in reading this thing. But there it is, in case you want to. So, yeah. Looney Tunes number 267. I never see these comic books in the comic shop. It makes me wonder how the hell these things are still going. Like, who is financing these? Like, do they really get enough sales to kind of continue going like this? Are they just digital exclusives? Like, what's the deal? Mad Magazine number 27. So there you go. Mad Magazine doing its thing. And like I said, if you're interested in Mad Magazine, that's something there. Monkey Prince. Monkey Prince number 6. Continuing adventures of this particular storyline. I haven't read any of Monkey Prince, so I don't know if it's good or bad. I've heard kind of interesting things about it. Naomi Season 2, number 5. Brian Michael Bendis is one of the writers once again, and David F. Walker. Probably not going to get it because, well, Brian Michael Bendis is the writer. So I gave the guy a chance, and pretty much the entirety of the Superman stuff that he did and Legion of Superheroes wasn't too keen on it. So I'm just like, nope, I'm good. Nightwing number 94 by Tom Taylor. Boy, we're getting close to issue 100 at this point. There's a new commissioner in town. It's none other than Maggie Soar, but one clean commissioner does not make a whole bad basket of Bloodhaven police officers good, and now Blockbuster is forced to lean more on Nightwing's sister, Mayor Zuko, to oversee the old commissioner's illegal dealings. Then an attack on Haven reveals some shocking truths to Nightwing and Oracle that make it difficult to recover from. And here's your cover. Oh, there you go. There's a steamy cover for you. There's kind of the main issue, some various variant covers. But there you go. That's the cover right there. Like, these two clearly want to fuck, but we'll see if it happens or not. For whatever reason, they haven't really, like, they've kind of restrained Dick Grayson in that regards. Because, like, the start of Rebirth, he was kind of getting around town quite a bit. But with those two, they've kept it kind of restrained. Like, you never know if they have, in, like, the current batch of issues, it's kind of more lighthearted. But I wonder if that's going to change at some point. So, if they'll actually, like, you know, go all the way. So, I mean, like I said, this is a pretty, it's a pretty steamy cover. Like, they clearly want to get it on right there. So I wonder if it'll happen in the issue. Nubia, Queen of the Amazons, number 2. After a disastrous first foray into man's world as Queen of the Amazons, Nubia is left at death's door. As she fights for her, like her fellow Amazon search the culprit, try to do this, yada, yada, yada. Clock is ticking. Will this trip in the name of peace prove fatal? So you got Nubia doing her thing. I kind of like this variant cover here, like Dinosaur Justice League stuff. And you have Darkseid playing with him like a little baby. That's a cool cover. Poison Ivy number 2 by G. Willow Wilson. Destroying humanity is a lot of work, and its girls got to eat. On her journey to doom humankind, Ivy makes a pit stop at a roadside restaurant where she meets a hungry poet who makes her question her motives, at least until the cops show up. Ivy has left Gotham, but can she seem to escape the law? So Poison Ivy doing her thing. And there you go. Robin, number 16. Okay, so you all know I'm a big Robin fan. So here's the current issue going on right here. Robin's investigation into Lazarus Island put on hold as Lord Deathman strikes. Damian and Hawk are called to Tokyo. Oh, he's going to Tokyo by Flatline to help her deal with her crazed mentor, which means Killer Bros road trip. So here we go. There's the cover right here. There's Lord Deathman. Flatline's looking after Damian. I like this variant cover here. It's very reminiscent of the 60s show. You kind of have the Lazarus Island squad going on here, going toe-to-toe with a bunch of villains. You even have Talia on the side of this, like, fighting against them. Like I said, this is kind of a fun variant. And then you have this one here. He's smiling because his parents are kind of, like, back together in a little bit. At least in terms of Shadow War, it seems like they're kind of going back to kind of that older Bruce and Talia dynamic, which I'm pretty excited for. Now, Damian is going to Japan. This shonen-based, like, comic book that's clearly, like, shonen inspired is now literally going to Japan at this point. I feel like this is kind of the plan all along, because like I said, the Robin book has been very shonen and shoujo inspired, and like obviously the manga has been kind of an overarching theme with it. Now he's going to Japan, and I don't know what's going to happen after this, but the fact that they're going to Japan has me really, really excited. Like, yes, go to Japan, do some cool stuff, go party, have a good time, and you know what? Go do some manga shopping, or manga shopping. I don't know how you pronounce it half the time. Manga shopping. So they better do that. Like, that's, like I said, if you're going to Japan, he's going to Japan, they're in Japan, experience the culture. Just shroud this with as much, like, Japanese anime culture as possible in this issue, and I'd be all for it. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Glad he's going to Japan. Get him out of Gotham, do something fun, and have a good time. Superman Son of Kal-El, number 13. It's the dramatic DCU debut of Dreamer, who was, I believe, on that Supergirl TV show, which, you know, Supergirl was a pretty bad TV show. Let's be honest here. So, but I mean, some people are sure going to be excited, but there's a downside here. Harry Bendix is still around. Whatever hero on Earth is threatened by Harry Bendix, it's a race against time for Dreamer to warn Superman before it happens. This mysterious new ally's premonition become a nightmare for Jonathan Kent. So there you go. You got all these different characters kind of sprinkled in with this. Anything on the variant there? There we go. There's some nice looking cover art though. There we go. Task Force Z, number 10 by Matthew Rosenberg. I didn't even finish the most recent issue of Task Force Z. I got to start covering that along with the War for Earth 3 or whatever crossover with Teen Titans Academy, because I just kind of just like, I didn't even read those issues yet. They're just sitting in my like Comixology app, like, get to them, read them, Sean. You got to do videos on them. Like, yeah, I'll get to them eventually. So yeah, Task Force C, the Rise Powers, Industrial Red Hood remains Task Force C, doing their thing. Like I said, Mr. Bloom, Man Bat are there, yada yada yada. Task Force C. I don't know. Task Force C hasn't quite gripped me as much as I was kind of hoping it would. The Jurassic League, number 3. So I definitely got to pick up Jurassic League when it comes out. This looks like Godzilla right here on the cover, but it's clearly just a dinosaur. The Justice League is dinosaurs. Like, that's just an insane... Wait a minute. Wasn't this just for another issue up above? Must have been an error, so... Yeah, I was wondering why this seemed kind of off here. I forget which issue it was we looked up earlier, but... yeah, so the variant cover. I will be reading this thing. I don't need to know much else. It's the Justice League as dinosaurs. Like, that sold me. So I'll be picking that up because it's the Justice League as dinosaurs. That's all I really need to know. Sandman Universe, Nightmare Country number 4. James Tynion, who's still kind of doing stuff at DC, surprisingly, at this point. The Swamp Thing, number 15. So we got that by Ram V right here. I haven't read any of it, but it looks like there's one more issue left on this particular book. Wish Ram V was still writing Catwoman, though, because I liked what Ram V was doing with it. Wonder Woman, number 789, by Becky Cloonan, Michael W. Conrad, Jordi Belair. So you got that going on right there. And I think that's pretty much it at this point. Like I said, that's just kind of like after the fact. You just kind of get some other various issues going on here. But main thing for me, like I said, Robin is the top book of the month for me. DC versus Vampires is another interesting one. There's a steamy cover for you Dick Bab shippers right there. So if you're interested in that, I'm trying to think of anything else that kind of intrigues me throughout this month. Dark Crisis, like I'm actually kind of intrigued by Dark Crisis now because it's going to be Nightwing versus Deathstroke. I'm not sure how I feel about like Deathstroke Inc. being a prequel going forward, but it's something. DC vs. Vampires is definitely a must-buy because that series has been top-notch. Anything else? Oh, Chip Zdarsky Batman, so that means it'll be pretty good. Backgirls on Raid has some intrigue. I got to check out Action Comics just to see all the hype around Philip Kennedy Johnson's run, but I hear really good things about it, so I think I might have to check it out. But then other than that, like I said, just a couple other things kind of put together in this particular month. I don't understand why we're making this a trade paperback. Like, I mean, who's going to want to read this stuff? Like, Damian fans don't like that run on Teen Titans, and they like to forget it. And plus, we're, like, in the middle of the Robin book. Like, why do we need to kind of go back to, like, this stuff right here? This is all just not good stuff. The Tomasi stuff was pretty good in the Williamsons. Like, I mean, given the circumstance of the story, the stuff was more readable. But, like, the Thompson stuff, it was an absolute, like, no. So, yeah, DC versus Vampires, that's the main thing for me and Robin. And then Zdarsky's going to do some good Batman stuff and all that other fun stuff. So, Artemis. Yes, Artemis. I think I might want to check this out because I really liked Artemis. So, yeah, there you go. Dark Crisis is going to be taking over the month. Got a lot of reptilians and Chip Zdarsky. So, there's that. All right, well, I think that's all I really have to say in terms of this particular video. Thoughts are kind of rambled a lot, but I think I got the point across. Tell me your thoughts in the comments section below what you thought of this month's solicitations. Are you excited to pick up anything in particular? What interests you the most? So there's a lot of stuff coming out this month. So yeah, all that fun stuff. Robin's going to Japan, so that's going to be cool. But other stuff, yeah, like I said, Batman, I'm getting a little Batman fatigue too because it just overstuffs everything. I mean, when I was reading down, there was just like Batman. But there are some other characters getting showcased, it feels like, this month. So at least that's a plus. Still, it's not DC Comics. It's just Batman Comics anymore. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments section down below. Let me know what comic book that you're most looking forward to checking out. Like I said, there's some stuff on here that I'm pretty excited to see. And then other stuff that I could just kind of like care less about. So it's just another month in DC Comics. So let's see what they do after this. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a few titles in there. So that's always fun. All right, well, that's all I got to say. Thanks so much for watching this video. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that other fun stuff. Oh, even Siri's agreeing with me. So yeah, all that other shit. I got more stuff coming up on the channel. And I think I've said enough. So in case I don't see you again by Sunday, have a very happy Easter. And yeah, as always, take care now. Bye bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.